A mother, a therapist, a dark secret unraveling behind closed doors. From family vlogging fame to felony charges, Ruby Franke built her brand on parenting advice. But behind the scenes, her own children were suffering. And then there's Jodi Hildebrandt, the so-called life coach who turned guidance into something much darker. We're breaking down the chilling evidence, including crime scene photos that reveal the true horror of what happened inside that Utah home. What really happened behind those walls? And how did these two women justify the unthinkable? Let's dive into the disturbing truth behind the crime scene photos. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lindsay Unfiltered. And today we will be looking at some of the crime scene photos from the Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt case. I've seen a great amount of interest in these videos, so I decided to make this video as well. There is a full file accessible to the public with all of the recordings, photos, Ruby's journal, and more. I will tag that in the description down below. Now, there were about 295 photographs. I went through almost 200 or more, and I had seen enough. And we're going to go through those things with you. The children will not be pictured in this video. The stuff that I saw in those photos is too grueling for YouTube. Far too grueling and unsettling. So I don't even want to include that in my content, but we can look at the photos around the home and try to put two and two together as far as for what was going on in there. If you like content like this that revolves around true crime, scandal, conspiracy with a twist of humor, make sure to hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, please. Thank you very much. I'm like 2 subscribers away from 2,500. Thank you very much to my supporters and my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. With that being said, let's get into these crime scene photos. I'm back and I made a slideshow. So like I said, guys, there were 295 photos in that file. I went through those and picked some of the ones that seemed most interesting to me. Now I may be moving myself around if I want to show you guys something in particular, but you're not going to believe this. The first crime scene photo that I thought was pretty important were Ruby's notes found in a folder just sitting out, right? The details of the notes are blurred, but these are the notes that we now call Ruby's journal. The detective came in here and found pages and pages of notes where Ruby, quite frankly, did you get what I did there? Okay, she describes what was going on in that house and how she was harming her children. And it's all out in the open, like it was some type of cherished memoir that she was writing. I believe this is in a closet because I see a lot of clothes here. Jodi was very rich, so maybe she definitely did have an island in her closet. I've never seen that before, but you know, rich people props. Okay, so part of Jodi's home. So we know that Jodi lives in Utah. She's surrounded by mountains. This home is actually up for sale right now. It's millions of dollars. It's this huge, mega mansion. And it was so empty on the inside, guys. She had all of this home, but still was devastated inside. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you, Jodi did not make this house a home. Jodi had immense self-hatred issues. Immense, along with Ruby Franke. Where that stemmed from, I don't know, but that is my opinion, and that is how I'm going to view them. This is just the garage. But if you see the entire home listed now, it is huge. You have all of this home, you have all of this nature, and this is what you want to spend your time doing. I digress. Okay, so we also see multiple sets of shoes by a door. Looks like child shoe. This may be an adult shoe if she has a big foot. So this lets us know that the kids have been here. They have been here, right? Okay. So now we look at the kitchen. The kitchen seems to be a little messy. There's nothing really there's nothing truly suspicious in the kitchen, but I did want to get a chance to show you guys just how huge this place is, right? Absolutely huge. What is one woman doing in a house that huge? You can't have happiness if you're that lonely. I could see if you were in a small, quaint house, but you're in a huge house and it's just you. And something about it feels so cold and empty. As beautiful as it is, something about it seems barren, cold, and empty. You know what wasn't barren, cold, and empty? Their pantry. Their pantry was full of food. So why on earth were the children starving when police saved them? This pantry is full of food, and this isn't some hand-me-down food. This is good food that these kids could have eaten. But if they were eating it, they probably would have been accused of stealing or something like that, right? Jodi had a ton of food. I'm sure she ate. I'm sure she cooked. I'm sure her and Ruby made brownies. Look at all the Betty Crockers up here. No way those children should have been going hungry. You got to think about this. These people have money. It's not like I can't afford to or I need help from the government. They had it all. They willfully and wantonly deprived those children from food. And that is neglect. That is abuse. Okay, so also we see duct tape in a closet. If you recall how the son was found, his bandages were duct taped around his ankles. So seeing 4 rolls of industrial duct tape lets me know that you weren't slowing down anytime soon on that. Look at this. A jump rope. There seems to be some books here, a computer here, Epsom salt. That kind of scares me as well. Because in another photo, I saw Epsom salt sitting next to a bucket. These wounds were bad. I can't show them. These wounds were bad. And the fact that you had buckets with Epsom salt, you wanted them to soak that in Epsom salt. It's a different level of evil. It's a different level of it. Not once did you seek medical attention for the injuries that these children had. Again, neglect, abuse, and it's sad that no one could step in and help these children. They were with people that legitimately had it all. When it comes to money, cars, clothes, they had it all. But they couldn't have compassion. The one priceless asset they will never obtain is compassion. So I have this photo here and it's clear wrap and it was used on their bandages. It's like cellophane or something like that. If you've seen the pictures, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was rolls of it. This one's like halfway gone. There was rolls of it. You were willfully treating this child on your own because you knew this child had wounds and you did it on your own. But the way you did it was the most cruel thing I think I've ever heard of. Okay, so there was this paste used to dress wounds. Looks like there's surgical sponges. Looks like there's elastic bandages, plastic wrap. We told you guys about that. It's a mess. Okay. And there was this paste made of honey and cayenne pepper. If somebody has an open wound, you're going to put pepper in it, hot pepper in it. And then they have the little dressing or whatever this is laid out like it's ready to be done. Like this is a normal occurrence. Got it all laid out and prepped. How long were you going to do it? Imagine if Russell hadn't walked out that door. where would we be today? We probably wouldn't even be talking about this because we probably wouldn't even know of it. But their safety was at risk and their health was rapidly declining. I cannot show any pictures of them. It's just too much, okay? So here you have another photo of this disgusting mixture, and right next to it is a rope. Now, another thing I'll tell you about, these people had ropes all over the house, And these ropes were used to tie these children up with, right? And as you can see, there's children's clothes all along here. I have no idea why that is. There's like a little spending a night baggie with toiletries right here. And then you have this disgusting slop. Unbelievable. Okay, so you also have a trampoline. In Ruby's journal, she spoke about how she would make her children go outside on the trampoline and jump in the heat, in the middle dead heat. And here's the trampoline right here. They actually showed some photos where they were taking pictures of the ground outside. And the ground had so many of these marks, so many of these circular marks on the ground from them pulling the trampoline out and pulling it back in. This trampoline looks pretty worn out too, right? So in here you have a ton of Connections DVDs. Looks like a bra and rope. It was everywhere. The rope was everywhere, which lets you know way too far gone. Way too far gone. And when they get into this downstairs area, it looks like a penitentiary. It looks like a purgatory. It looks like something that you can't even imagine. Something out of a movie like The Secret Cellar or something. And there were weights and cement bricks in there. And we know from Ruby's journal and from police investigation that these children were lifting things. They were standing on things. They were holding weights. They were tied down to them. We know a lot of these things happen. So this is in that penitentiary type room like I told you guys about, right? So it seems like there's vinegar and some other household items, but they are boxes, right? There's also these boxes, right? And there's a stool here. There's a cement brick. There's 2-3 sets of weights. These children were carrying these day in and day out. For what reason? Because their mother was dealing with self-hatred issues, control issues, and evil issues. All day long they had to do this. All day long they had to do this. While not eating. You need energy to exercise. This is torture. And the background is fitting, isn't it? They're just in a cement room with all of your devices. And the thing that kind of stuck out to me the most was this stool right here. So while you did what you did, Ruby, while you did what you did, Jodi, did you guys just sit, watch, and direct them? But when the police came, you were scared. When the police came, you were quiet as a mouse. When the police came, you had nothing to say. But in that black stool, I'm sure you had a ton to say. You wouldn't do this to women your age. You would if you could, but you know they're not going for it. You wouldn't do this to women your age. You would not make women your age do this. It's something about the dominion over a child that made you lose your mind. You're not doing that to any adult. So the fact that you need a vulnerable or weak person to manipulate or play your mind games with is quite disturbing. Here we have the plastic wrap, lotion, those sponges, Band-Aids, castor oil. I have no idea why they thought they could deliver medical attention. I have no idea why they thought they could deliver medical attention. A blood pressure cuff. You're torturing these children, and then you want to try to nurse them back to health. I hope this video isn't too much for you guys, but it's very real, okay? I don't know what these little thingies are here. They're like little, something with little teeth on it, like a comb or something like that. Here's another picture of that weight, okay? Ruby said numerous times in her journal that she tied her kids to her and all kinds of other things. So no telling what that weight was used to do. Okay, so we have these towels, and at first I thought this was kind of weird because I didn't understand why they kept taking a picture of it. So the detective and the police kept taking pictures of these towels on the floor with these rings, right? And these same rings were outside, and I did a little bit more further investigation and found that this is from the trampoline. These rings are from the trampoline sitting on it. So I don't know if the trampoline was used indoors, but truly disturbing either way it goes to see physical evidence in real time of this abuse. Now we're in the bedroom here, and as you can see, we've already showed you guys some ropes here and there. There's more. It looks like it hasn't been opened. No telling how much, because you knew one day they were going to save themselves. Shame on you. Shame on you. And shame on you both equally. I want you guys to answer down in the comments below who's more at fault when it comes to this horrible, heinous crime. Was it Jodi or was it Ruby? Ruby, those are her kids. It's her job, first and foremost, as a mother, to protect them. Jodi, the mastermind. Ruby, a follower that allowed someone's influence over her to cause her to harm her own children. I don't know. You guys can answer down in the comments below. Should they get the same amount of time? Does someone hold more fault in this, guys? Now, as you guys can see, this one's a little graphic, but it's not too bad. This is the paste that we were talking about, and inside of it's like band-aids and things of that nature that were on the children when they were found, just stowed away in a trash can. And you can see it's multiple of them. These children were going through agony day after day after day, day after day after day, not eating, not drinking, doing all kinds of physical exertion that their body was not primed to do at the time. For what? Make it make sense to me, guys. Because this does not make sense to me. It will never, ever, 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 ever make sense to me. These photos that I just showed you are public record. They are for education purposes. I know there probably aren't many kids that watch my videos, but there are adults, there are women, there are men. If somebody's hurting you, speak out. This could have been prevented, but somebody let power get to her head. And now we're dealing with the consequences of that. And I do not think I've seen, in terms of calculated cruelty, anything like this. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'd like for you guys to hit that thumbs up button and tell me what you want to see next. This has been Lindsay Unfiltered. Bye now.